Hello everyone, welcome to Equal to, and we have successfully completed our first chapter of class 9 maths, which is number systems. We have an entire playlist on that, and that has around 18 videos. I hope you have watched all those videos. Now we are moving on to the second chapter of class 9 maths, and the second chapter is polynomials. So what are polynomials? So polynomials are basically algebraic expressions with coefficients and variables. So that is the simple definition for that, but this creates a lot more questions than it answers, right? We are wondering what polynomials were, but it created two new questions like what are coefficients and what are variables. So let us tackle this with an example. So a variable is just it's like a placeholder, so it's used to assume a value. Okay, so let us take the alphabet X. X can be a variable. Okay, for that matter, any alphabet can be a variable, or any symbol for that matter other than numbers can be variables, right? So we have X, right, and X you can assume it to be a variable. And let me write a polynomial expression and we can explain this further, right? So let us say we have 2x plus 1. Okay, now in this polynomial expression we have different things, right? We first have this 2, and this 2 is what we call a coefficient. Okay, and this x is what we call as variables. Okay, so coefficient is basically the number that comes along with the term variables. Okay, so if we have 2x plus 1, 2 is the coefficient of x. Okay, and we have the next part here, that is 1, and this is what we call a constant. Okay, so these are basically the parts of a polynomial: coefficient, variable and constant, right? Let me just give you another example and we'll try to pick off the variable, constant and coefficient here, right? So let us say x square by 2. Okay, so this is our polynomial expression. So how would you find the coefficient here? Now obviously x square is going to be your variable, and 1 by 2 times x square is the expression. So 1 by 2 here, that is going to be your coefficient. Okay, and this part is going to be a variable. Okay, because what exactly is variable? Variable means the value can vary. You don't exactly know the value of x, right? It can vary depending on a lot of things, right? Now don't worry too much about these things. This is just a basic introduction to what polynomials are. Later on, even in this video, we are going to be solving questions. So with that, you will get a lot more insight on what polynomials are, and a lot of your questions will get cleared up, right? So just don't worry too much about it. Okay, now moving on to the next thing, that is we are going to solve our first example from this chapter. Okay, now I don't want you to get bored with the theory a lot, so we are going to stop with this, and as we solve our examples we will be learning the definitions as well, right? So let us start with that. Okay, here we have our first example, that is find the degree of each of the following polynomials. So as I told you, I was not going to bore you with a lot of definitions, and we are going to learn that with our examples. So here we have a new term called degree. Okay, so what exactly is a degree of a polynomial? Okay, So let us take this first example. We have x power 5 minus x power 4 plus 3. Okay, now if we take this polynomial expression, we have exponents here, right? X power 5, here the power is 5, right? The exponent value is 5. And we have x power 4, there the exponent value is 4. And we have 3 is a constant, but actually what it is it's x power 0. Okay, you can consider it as x power 0 because as we know from exponents, right, x power 0 is equal to 1, or anything for that matter, anything power 0 is going to give you 1, and obviously 3 times 1 is 3, right? So this 3 can be expressed as 3x power 0. Okay, so this basically is your polynomial expression, and degree is basically the highest exponent value or highest power of a polynomial expression. So let me just write that here. Degree is highest power of a polynomial. Okay, so highest power of a polynomial is what we call as degree. Now in this case, what are the powers? Let me just write those first. So in this first term the power is 5, in the second term the power is 4, and in the third term the power is 0, and 5 is greatest of all, right? So 5 is going to be the degree of the polynomial. Okay, I hope it's clear. It's not very difficult. This is no rocket science. You first have to know what is a degree. So degree of a polynomial is basically the highest power of a polynomial, and in this case the highest power of this polynomial is 5, and that is going to be the degree of this polynomial. Okay, now let us move to the second subdivision of the same question. Now here we have another polynomial, and again degree is the highest power, right? So let us first write the powers here. So here we have just 2. So in that case, what is the power? It's 0, right? X power 0. So here the power is 0, or in this case not x power 0, y power 0. It doesn't really matter, it's just a variable after all. Okay, so we have 0 power here, we have 2 here, we have 3 here, and we have 8 here, right? So these are the 4 power values, right? Now you are going to find the greatest one of these, and 8 is the greatest one, right? So 8 is the degree of the polynomial. Right? I hope you got it. It's very simple. You are just going to list out all the powers or the exponents of this expression, algebraic expression, polynomial, and you are going to pick the highest one out of that, and that is going to get you the degree of the polynomial. Now we are moving to the third subdivision and the last subdivision here, and that is quite simple. We have already seen this. It's very simple. So basically if you just have a constant, it means that the variable's power is 0, right? X power 0 is equal to 1. So this is what we are using, right? So x power 0 is equal to 1. So basically 2 is same as 2x power 0. So here the powers are just zeros because there is only one term here, and hence 0 is the degree of the polynomial. Right, I hope you understood this. There is nothing complicated here. You just have to know that degree of the polynomial is the highest power, right? This is the only statement that you are going to know. Highest power of a polynomial is what we call as degree, and with that you can solve all these questions. So you are just going to list your exponents and get the highest of all that, and that is going to be your degree, right? So what are the things we have seen in this video? We have seen what polynomials are. So polynomials is basically algebraic expressions with coefficients, variables, and also constants, right? So coefficient is basically the number accompanying a variable in that particular term, and that is about the polynomial. And we are coming to the degree of the polynomial, which is the highest power of a polynomial. Okay, and we have solved the example 1 of this exercise. So I hope you understood this. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. With that, we are coming to an end for the first video of our polynomials lesson, and in the next video we'll be solving exercise questions. So stay subscribed and stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye for now.